come in 4 times with the same issue, he wasn't going to even listen to you anymore. He would just send you away, and you'd hear him yelling from confessional as you were waiting to go into confessional. The father who I was with was a little bit blind. He had vision problems. And he told me about this teacher who, in the seminary, he told me about 2 big teachers for him. One was a man who bought him really big books so he could see better. Yeah. And the other was Pio, who had failed him in his seminary. He used to teach the kids. Oh, Pio had teach the kids. Yeah. Pio would catechize the youth and walk them into postulancy. He was the one who was like man on the ground, dealing with the new recruits, as you would say. And they had a curriculum, and you could fail the curriculum if you didn't study.
So he was flunked by Padre Pio.
He was flunked by Pio. And this is a blind man, right? So, and at first he thought, this is completely heartless. How do you flunk a blind man? And it was as if he heard Pio say, you can do better. Yeah. And it motivated his life. He's now one of the head friars there, one of the most respected, most beloved old dudes in there. And he sort of also welcomes everybody in. After Mass, he the same guy I'm talking about, he goes and walks into the laity and he raises his hands and they all come around him and they kneel around him in a circle and he prays for everybody. They love him. The whole neighborhood loves him. But he was the one who said, the 2 teachers that mattered to me was this really giving, soft approach that identified like my problem and like was soft with me, bought me the big books. And then there was this Pio influence, which was holding me to account.
He had tough.
He had certain ambitions. He was tough. To flunk a blind guy and tell him, you can do better, it requires a certain kind of a person who can see more in you than you can even see in yourself. And so this is kind of the energy that he had. And so there's scenes in the movie that, with him cursing in confessional and stuff like that, James really loves. Father James loves those scenes because they introduce a certain...
He was tough in the confessional for sure.
Yeah.
That's well attested, right? They didn't take a lot of guff in the confessional.
No.
If someone's playing around like, Father, here are my sins, and Padre Pio knew, come on.
If you had come in 4 times with the same issue, he wasn't going to even listen to you anymore. He would just send you away, and you'd hear him yelling from confessional as you were waiting to go into confessional. And so as you're walking into confessional, he just let loose on another guy. This is the Pio style of doing things.
Tell me about, because now we're on this theme of the tough Padre Pio. A really striking element of the movie to me are the scenes where he's literally wrestling with the devil. And it's well accounted for in the stories of Padre Pio that his brothers would hear this like ruckus up in his room.
Yeah.
Things being thrown around and his body being hurled against a wall.
Yeah.
And